Hey, it's One Plucky Pixel here, and welcome back to another creative design tutorial. In today's video, we will cover the basics of the pattern tool in Adobe Illustrator. Of course, as you can see, we have two dresses here, and we have 4 sections to add patterns to. Starting things off, I do want to add a polka dotted design to this top portion of this dress. To do so, I'm just going to zoom in. I'm going to use the ellipse tool. If it is not currently active, simply click and hold and select it like so. I'm going to click on my canvas, hold shift, and drag it out. And just like that, I do have my first polka dot. In this case, I would like it to be a shade of orange. Probably something in this vicinity. I select OK. And just like that, we do have the basis for our pattern. Now, it certainly does not look like much, but of course, once we move forward, if it is not selected, just use the regular selection tool, select it like so, then go to Object, Pattern, Make. Now from here, you can see that the swatch has now been added to the panel itself. You can then select OK. You can then go ahead and name your pattern. I will call this polka dot. Now the tile type is very important. This actually changes how the pattern tessellates. Currently it is locked into a grid system. You can also tessellate it by brick by row, brick by column, hex by column, and hex by row. In this case, I want to use the brick by row method. And as you can see, upon selecting this option, we do have a little bit of offset just like this. We can also change the brick offset. In this case, I will just go with the basic option here. Now, moving forward, we do want more spacing between our circles. In this case, you want to edit the width and height. Now, these do not have to be the same value. I can actually click this chain link over here and unlink them. And from here, I can resize them. Now, as I add values, you will see that the tiles actually do change. We do have more spacing around the circles themselves. So as you increase these values, you will see more spacing, and as you subtract them or make them lower, there will be more of an overlap in some cases. In this instance, I'm happy with this result. I'm going to select Done. And just like that, the pattern is now in the panel over here. Now to add our pattern, I'm actually going to do a very interesting step. I'm going to select the top portion of the dress. I will then go to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in place. So all you have to do is select the swatch, and there you have it, a polka dot design. Now, in some cases, you may not be happy with the end result. For me, I think this pattern is a little bit too bold. I think the circles are too large in this case. So what I can actually do is edit the pattern. I'm going to select the object, just with the regular selection tool. I then go to Object, Pattern, Edit Pattern. And from here, I can change my design. I can actually select the original dot and shrink it like so. If I would like to change the color, I can also do so. Maybe we'll go just a little bit lighter, for example. I select OK, and also Done when I am satisfied. And just like that, the pattern is now updated. Now, moving on to the bottom portion of the dress. Let's do a diagonal striped design. This is actually fairly simple to do. I'm going to use the line tool over here. I'm going to click and hold shift and move my mouse to the bottom right. And in doing so, I create a clean diagonal. I will add a little bit of stroke weight. And I think I'll go for more of a maroon tone this time. Somewhere in this vicinity. Once more, my pattern is ready to go. I then select it. Once more, Object, pattern, and make. I select OK. And from here, the pattern is fairly close, but we do have some excessive gaps in between these lines. In order to correct this, all I have to do is reduce the width and height properties. So let's take a look. I'll drop it down to 5 pixels. And from there, our pattern is now resolved. I then select Done. And once more, I utilize the same steps. Select the object. Edit. Copy. Edit. Paste in place. And once more, I can apply the swatch I created. Now in this case, there is an error. The pattern actually applied to the stroke and not the fill. In this case, this is a very easy fix. All you have to do is navigate over here, select the arrow, and now remove the stroke. We also have to move this backwards. Again, this is a very easy fix. You select your object. You will then hold Command or Control left bracket to send this backward. And just like that, the pattern is now in place. Now, one interesting thing I do want to point out about patterns is that they are often transparent. So in this case, if I select this object and move it over to the right, you can see that the stripes are in fact isolated. There is no colored background whatsoever. However, you can make patterns with colored backgrounds. I'm going to use the next dress as an example. With this design, I do want to create a tic-tac-toe pattern. I'm going to use the line tool once more. I'm going to click and hold Shift and add a bit of weight to it. Just like that. Let's go for more of a dark blue in this case. I'm going to use Edit, Copy, and Edit, Paste in place. Next, I use Object, Transform, Rotate, and 90 degrees just like so. Now, of course, we do want a background color. In this case, I'm going to use the rectangle tool over here. I will navigate over to my tic-tac-toe design, my plus sign if you will, and as you can see, we do have smart guides activated. I'm going to click and drag to the bottom right, while also holding Shift. I'm going to flip-flop the stroke and fill, and change this to a brighter tone. Let's actually do more of a purple tone. A purple or pink tone would be great. And from here, once more, I use the Command and left bracket to send this back. And there we go. We do have the basis for our next pattern. So of course, just like before, I'm going to click and select this swatch over here, the base of our pattern. I then go to Object, Pattern, Make. And in this case, this pattern is actually perfect. The tessellation is exactly what we want, and all I have to do is give it a name. And I will call this grid, just like the tile type. I select Done, and from here I can now apply the pattern. Just like that. And there is no need to copy the original shape. Now, a really cool thing you can do with your patterns is actually this. Of course, you can delete the original components of the pattern. This has no effect on the patterns over here whatsoever. In the event that you would like to move a pattern within a shape, it's actually very easy to do so. What you'll do is select the object with the pattern. You will hold the tilde key on your keyboard. And from here, you can use the directional keys on your keyboard as well. And as you can see, I can actually shift the design in place. Just like that. This does give you a lot of control and a lot of flexibility. But I think that is fine as is. And we now move on to the final portion of the dress. Now, unfortunately, you guys, I will go wild with this section. I will go over how to create a pattern with a hexagon. So in this case, this is another type of tessellation. I'm going to use the shape tool over here once more. I'm going to click and hold and select the polygon tool. I'll bring my cursor over here, click on my canvas, and you do want to double check that your sides are set to 6. This is very important. Select OK, and we do have our hexagon here. We do not need the pattern, however. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove that, and we will add a simple stroke just like this. Now moving into our hexagon, I'll make this just a little bit smaller. I'm going to lower the stroke weight just a little bit as well, and now lower the opacity. So this is going to be a guide for our next pattern. I will not have the hexagon be a part of the pattern itself. To do this, I'm going to select the hexagon once more. I then go to Object, Lock, Selection. In this case, I cannot move the hexagon, which is exactly what I need. From here, I can create a range of different objects for my pattern. And from here, we are now ready to tessellate. I'm going to zoom out like so. I'm going to use the regular selection tool. I will then click and drag over my objects. And once more, Object, Pattern, Make. I select OK. And from here, I do want to change my tile type. I will name this Retro. And now I will set the tile type to hex by column. Now, as you can see, there is a little bit of an overlap. I personally do not want this overlap. Instead, what I'm going to do is actually change these parameters. Let's go a little wider. Let's do 37 and 37. And from there, we can actually see the design start to pull apart. I want just a little bit more padding, so let's do 39 and 39. And just like that, our pattern is properly tessellating. I then select Done. And now I can apply the pattern. I will make a copy, so I will do this. I select the shape, Edit Copy, Edit, Paste in Place. And now I select my really fun and crazy pattern, just like that. Of course, I can delete the remaining shapes. I can also go to Object, Unlock All, and in doing so, I then delete the hexagon. Finally, I select the object with the pattern. I hold Command or Control left bracket, and place it in the correct arrangement. And overall, we are pretty much done with our patterns. We have 4 unique patterns here. Hopefully this is a basic and helpful overview of how to use the pattern tool in Adobe Illustrator. You can create very simple geometric designs and also very chaotic ones as well. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. As always, thank you so much for watching.